Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the BitcoinMeister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 22nd, 2021. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Compete, don't complain, people. Conviction. 5-digit realm in motion. I'm offended by selling. Don't FOMO on alts. Be a unique beast, dudes. All right, we're going to talk about all of that. Fitting in is freaking overrated. Hello, my elite friends. Do you have questions? I've got answers. Type in BitcoinMeister or do a super chat to get my attention. You just can't ask a regular question. I won't notice it. Someone asked if I was in Baltimore, though, before the show started. Always check out the links below. The first word of my description is where I am. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. All right. Oh, we got weekends all over the place. Talking about Ethereum FUD, capital gains tax FUD, China FUD. Oh, my God. I want to vomit. But, hey, it's a little bit after 4 p.m. on the East Coast. Tomorrow, Friday, after 4 p.m. on the East Coast tomorrow, This Week in Bitcoin, Mauricio is going to be on. Surfer Jim is going to be on. Andy from California is going to be on, not Andy Hoffman. So, hey, it's going to be great. And remember, 19 Bitcoin make you a millionaire. Right this second. If you have 19 Bitcoin, you are a freaking millionaire. Now, I want to address one thing: the Ethereum flippening FUD. If you're from 2017, like I am, I mean, you've already experienced this, and I'll give you some numbers a little later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. Specific dates. But right now in the Bitcoin cycle, we're around where it was like in June of 2017. Okay, and this same type of stuff. Ethereum was doing well. People were talking about Ethereum flippening. It's the same thing, dude. It's the same stuff is going on. And I just want to give all you guys a warning. It's not going away. You're going to hear about it. So you got to be a man about it. Have a strong hand and just be like, you know what? Ethereum can do well and Bitcoin can do well. They can both do well. It's not a zero-sum game. If you're new to this, this is part of your initiation, okay? When you join a fraternity, they make you, there's some initiate. I never did that stuff. I didn't buy my friends. Pound that button. But some people like that stuff. That's your business. That's a little shout out to my buddy Shane, who will be in Miami with me for the great Bitcoin Magazine event on June the 4th and 5th. But going back, this is part of your initiation, okay? So get used to it. Get used to Ethereum. They're competing. Don't complain. Compete. They can say, we're going to share a report. It's already linked to below, an Ethereum report that someone made for institutions so that they pour money into Ethereum. They are competing. You can complain and cry and scream and say, what? Oh, woe is me. Ethereum's doing well. Ethereum is at what? It's at 4.7% of a Bitcoin now. I said during the summer, it's going to get up to 6% at least. Okay. During the summer, it was below 3%. It's all part of the cycle. People want a next Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Ethereum is the next Ethereum, but there are a lot of people that Ethereum is number 2. It's the logical choice. They pour money into it. And I want to say this straight up as a guy who is a Bitcoin firster, as a guy who's got Bitcoin, been buying Bitcoin since 2013, all right? The Bitcoin Inquisition people were wrong about Ethereum, all right? Udi, I respect Udi so much, okay, in Tel Aviv. He's not correct about Ethereum. He's not, some of the things they've said are not, now, he might know some technical things and maybe it's not sustainable forever and ever and ever, but dudes, have you used Uniswap? They're doing really unique things on Ethereum. It is changing the world. It is revolutionary technology, okay? And that might not be your cup of tea. I don't blame you if it's not your cup of tea. It's not my cup of tea either. I like buying and holding Bitcoin. I like preserving my wealth. I keep it really simple. They're apples and oranges. But dudes, it's a real thing. You can call it a scam. You sound like an idiot when you call it a scam, though. Seriously. I mean, when are you going to admit you were wrong about Ethereum? Because this is the same thing we asked Peter Schiff. When is Peter Schiff going to admit he's wrong about Bitcoin? Okay, so you sound like a Peter Schiff type of person when you go on and on and on about Ethereum being horrible. They're only doing it to destroy Bitcoin, and it's a scam. It's a this, it's a that. It's not destroying Bitcoin. It's not a zero-sum game. They can do what they want to do. It's going to go up in price. It's going to be 6% of a Bitcoin. It might be 8% of a Bitcoin, okay? But you should have the confidence in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. So they're going to talk about flippenings. Don't let it hurt your freaking feelings, okay? They can talk about flippenings as much as they freaking want to. Be a man and just say, no, okay, fine. Flippening, great. Have fun. Have fun with Ethereum. I'll have fun with Bitcoin. I mean, it's as simple as that. Pound that like button. But to deny its legitimacy, at this point in time, you're basically Peter Schiffing it in terms of how he responds to Bitcoin people. How important, Zach Allen says, how important do you think fungibility is? Trace Scott Inquisition for talking about it. Well, it's something to deal with. All right, it's something that the technical people are working on, and that you'll be able, hopefully, to opt into if you want to. It's, without fungibility, they're able to track every single thing you do on Bitcoin. So that's disturbing. I mean, on a certain level, that is disturbing. Okay, that someone who really understands this, you can see some bad person sent you a Bitcoin, and then it's always bad forever and ever unless you send it to the mixer. Okay, so it's something to consider. And Trace was interested in the privacy aspect. Let's not bring him up into that. Who knows what was? I don't know. I can't read his mind. So someone said, what? M. DeVito, not Danny DeVito, but M. DeVito, which is obviously spelled different from DeVito, says, "Pound that booty, bro." Dude, I have pounded some pretty hot ladies' booties in my day, but you won't be seeing that here. This is a family channel, obviously, and for me to even say that is, but I was a fan of the booties. Yeah, I've seen all shapes and sizes of the front, and I've seen it all. I've seen it all up front, and some guys are really obsessed with that. I mean, I had a friend, God almighty, was he obsessed with up front. And, it's up front is good, but I didn't really care if they were small or large. It didn't bother me. I've seen it all. I've seen really big, small. It doesn't bother. But yeah, I like the booty. Yeah, that's a little bit different. There's something to be said when you're pounding that booty. I mean, there is something. It's nice. But value your wealth in Bitcoin. Seriously, don't value your wealth in booty. I mean, and there's some, and out here on the streets of Nashville, these Vanderbilt associated ladies and these Belmont associated ladies, there's some fine ladies out there. This southern people, I don't know if they're all from the South, but it's good. And Nashville's a great place. But again, value your wealth in Bitcoin. Don't be distracted by the female noise. And again, if you're married, there's a 50% chance you're going to end up not married. So make sure that you have a stash that your wife does not know about. There's nothing wrong with that. It's insurance. It's divorce insurance. All right, there's a guy out there. I am not even wow. There's a guy that's using a screen name that is really disturbing on a certain level. And we're talking about women and hot women. Bree Fit Dance is in the house. You guys know her. She's the hula hoop girl. She's going to interview me soon. She's hot. A lot of you just blindly worship. She got a lot of followers because she's hot and she talks about Bitcoin and everything. So some of you who value your wealth in women, you'll enjoy that she's here today. But she's a nice person. She's going to interview me on her show with Craig Shipp very soon. But I respect her for being a Bitcoin person. I don't care that she's hot. There's just some people that are just like, she's hot. She's hot. She probably has a boyfriend. I mean, maybe I'll ask her that on her show. You just got to assume a girl that hot has a boyfriend. But most of you don't. And that's why you like throw money at girls like that. Like, no way she likes me. She doesn't really have a boyfriend back in the real world. It's all about the fake world here on the internet. She must not have a real boyfriend, but she's talking to me. Oh, I'm so special because she's talking to me. All right, now let's see. What else do we have? Okay, we've been distracted here. Peter says, what's your opinion on the debate of Michael Saylor and Frank Gustra? Bitcoin versus gold. Well, Peter, this is great because, I was DMing Andy Hoffman yesterday, and Andy's like, what do you think about the debate? And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't care about debate. It's a complete waste of time. It's a complete waste of time to watch something like that. I mean, you care that Michael Saylor got one up on a guy who likes gold. Does that make you buy Bitcoin? Does that make you more confident in Bitcoin? Because he won? I mean, all these people love these battles. That's why people love Richard Hart so much, because he would attack people and they worship him because, he was right. He won that debate. He made this guy cry. And then he made an ego coin about him. You see, Michael Saylor's a billionaire, so he's got time on his hands. He goes out and debate. That's his business. But dudes, I don't care if he won or lost the debate. What I cared about was when he risked his reputation, his company's future, and bought a ton of Bitcoin in the summer. That's putting your money where your freaking mouth is. That is what is important. The rest is noise. The rest of these debates, I don't have time for these debates and stuff. I keep it really simple. I knew that dude. I told you in the summer when he bought a bunch of Bitcoin for his company, the world was a changing, baby. And that was a real thing. That was news. The debate, I don't give it. And I understand that some people are entertained by the debates. There's only so much. I mean, how much time can you dedicate to it? If you don't believe it, the only reason you believe in Michael Saylor is because he beat a guy in the debate. That's horrible. You should understand. You should like Bitcoin because dudes like Michael Saylor are thinking the same way that you are. That is a store of value. That the dollar is a complete waste right now. All right, that's the big news happened a long time ago. The debate was won in August when he bought the stuff, okay? And his company bought the stuff. They bought the Bitcoin. All right. So that's my opinion of that. I don't watch it. I don't put Michael. I don't put him on a pedestal. Everyone's worshiping he's got some great tweets. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's a smart guy. There's no doubt about it. But I'm not at every word. I'm not like holding my breath waiting for the next Michael Saylor tweet to come out there, dudes. Don't pedestal the guy. But again, it was the world did change when a major company like that. And then all these other major companies started buying afterwards. It was great because we always knew it was going to happen. That companies would use it as a store of value instead of having dollars on their balance sheet. They would have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and we knew countries would eventually do it too. But a country hasn't announced it yet, but it will happen. It will happen, and that's why you should be holding Bitcoin because it is good. You'll truly understand scarcity at that point. All right. Wow, we got all sorts of people over there. Yeah, so I forgot my crypto groupies. Remember that term? We got some crypto groupies. They're the people that just follow me around and in my chat, in my comments, say they're not good people. They're just people that have a lot of time on their hands and like to say things that aren't very nice. Those are crypto groupies. Now, the rest of you dudes in the chat, you guys are strong handers. You like watching the show. You're not groupies. You're not lowly. Groupie is not a good word. It's not good to be a groupie, to be a crypto groupie. And there are plenty of them. They're crypto groupies are trolls. We discussed this on another show, but I'm always happy to see my crypto groupies out there because you're stirring the pot when you get the crypto groupies following you wherever you go, man. All right, now, and someone says, "What's up, BitcoinMeister?" Again, guys, type in BitcoinMeister, make it or do a super chat, get my attention. We had a guy from France the other day. He was going wild. Okay, so pound that like button. This is going to end up being a real long show. I hope you just 2x this to, if you don't want to hear me talking about some of the stuff that we've talked about so far. All right, now, the great Zach Vol. So right now, the Bitcoin price dropped below $1 trillion market cap. It was really it kept on, it was staying above the $1 trillion market cap. It would go a little bit below it, but then it would jump back down. So in the last 2 hours, it's below it now. Now, what happened in the last 2 hours? Well, the president of the United States, there's a rumor that he wants to steal from rich people, who are vilified. If you make over $1 million a year, you're going to have to pay an exorbitant capital gains tax on your assets that you sell, and it's ridiculous. It is theft. It is envy. It's nonsense, and the market reacted in a natural way. This is not good. The stock market, all the financial markets went down on this because it cuts down on productivity. It's the wealthy with their excess profits that with their profits, isn't that not excess? That fund development, that fund this beautiful world that we live in with such technology, okay, with such comforts. But they don't get this, okay? The sociopathic leaders do not get this. So, yeah, of course, the Bitcoin price it went down, all right? So, but I'm explaining to you why the Bitcoin price went down in the 2 hours, because that makes some of you feel better. And this is the reason. This is the reason. So Zach Vole has a tweet out there that sums it up. He says, and you should just, the comments from the envious people out there that say, oh yeah, it's fine. The millionaire, they won't notice it. If you make $1 million a year, they should be willing to pay a 49% capital gains tax or whatever ridiculous capital gains. No, they shouldn't. Because they're rich, you should be able to steal from people who are rich. No. That's not right. That's theft. That's horrible. But so let's see. Zach Vole says, let's print ungodly amounts of money, inflate the price of everything, and force everyone to day trade for extra cash. Then let's hike the capital gains tax to screw them again. He used a different word. Now, is the capital gains tax going to get, is everyone going to have to pay a higher capital gains tax? Well, not according to the rumor, but we shall see. If they're willing to tax millionaires more for their capital gains, then why not everybody else? Why not? It's 20% in the United States now. Why not bring it to 25%? And that would be horrible. That cuts down on productivity. It does. All right. The government stealing money from you is money that cannot be thrown into productive endeavors. So that's why the price of Bitcoin has just gone under the $1 trillion market cap. Okay, whatever. So I mean, there was the line in the sand had been drawn. There was an article about that. I'm going to talk about that, and it wouldn't go. Well, okay, something like this brings it below the line, dudes. This is all a blip on the radar. Everything that I'm talking about is a blip on the radar. The China FUD. Some of you, I forgot to address this on Monday. We're just like, oh, China. There was a drought and the mining went down the tubes, or all these rumors. The hash rate went down 50%, 40%, 30%. Who knows how much percent? We won't even remember. You won't even remember it in 2 years. Okay, you won't know. These are all blips on the radar that people just continually blow out of proportion. All right, every current event that takes down Bitcoin a little bit, it rebounds from. It always returns to its all-time high. We're one day closer to an all-time high. So pound that freaking like button. And I want to talk, we were talking about envious people out there. And again, there are plenty of people to just think it's morally right to steal from rich people because they're envious. They're envious. They don't get it. I know they haven't been raised right. They don't have the correct philosophy. They're completely demented in their philosophy. It's sickening and it's sad, but most people are that way. They think that stealing from the rich is right. So wait, Roman 2 says taxing based on your income status is discrimination. Yes. High income earners' lives matter. Yes. Pound that like button. High income earners' lives matter. They do. Everyone's lives freaking matter. Okay. Now, all right. So I want to speaking about high income earners. A lot of them live in Silicon Valley. Between San Jose and Oakland, on that side of the bay, that's not Silicon Valley anymore. But on the obviously between San Jose and San Francisco, that is Silicon Valley, that side of the bay. And there is a congressman who I respect on a certain level. He believes in minimum wage and ridiculous things, but he came on the Ben Shapiro show. His name is Ro Khanna. Okay, Ro Khanna. He represents the area that's near Santa Clara. If those of you familiar with the Bay Area in California, you know Santa Clara, you know Sunnyvale, Palo Alto, Mountain View. I spent time there when I was a little younger. I worked out there, and but anyway, Roe, he has this tweet out there. Imagine owning a piece of AOL before the internet revolution. Most aren't allowed to invest in startups. This is true. With crypto and blockchain, if inclusive, all of us can own a piece of the next digital frontier. This is something that I've been saying for a while, that regular people aren't allowed to buy pre-IPOs. He said, yesterday's IPO is a step. Other crypto exchanges, currencies will gain traction. So he's saying something like, you know what? Cryptocurrency is a way for regular people. Bitcoin is a way for regular people to get in on something that usually only wealthy people have been able to get in. All right? He's saying, the great Nick Carter said, just look at the hate Ro Khanna got from his own constituents for espousing a relatively anodyne position. Support for Bitcoin doesn't seem to win you many virtue bucks. And that is a great point. He got, for saying something that was pretty milquetoast, okay? Roe got ripped by everybody on Twitter. All these virtue signalers are like, oh, cryptocurrency destroys the environment. Oh, it's this, that, and the other. Why are you giving people stock advice? Blah, 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 blah. And again, I respect the guy because he went on Ben Shapiro's show. He went on Ben Shapiro's show to debate him about, there's a few liberals that will go on Ben Shapiro's show to debate him about, it was about about minimum wage. It's just ridiculous. But so, Ro, I give you credit. You're in Silicon Valley. You got to talk about cryptocurrency. It's all over there. How are you going to ignore it? You're not being a good representative of the people if you're just going to not talk about like a major industry in the area that you're representing. But again, if you read these comments, the envy, the hate for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrency, all the nonsense they believe from the media, it's sickening. It really is sickening. But get used to it. You should be used to it by now. The environmental FUD. And by the way, the Ethereum people are spreading. There's some Ethereum people that are spreading environmental FUD because they say Ethereum, once it switches to proof of stake, is better for the environment than Bitcoin. Let them say that. Okay? Still, the fools in Silicon Valley or the people on Twitter will still have fun staying poor, not buying Ethereum or Bitcoin. Now, I do want to, the people that ripped on Roe in the thread, I assume most of them are not his constituents because there are some smart people in that part of the country that understand technology. Some are, but on Twitter, it can be anyone that rips you, okay? So all sorts of screaming Karens. The longest time between Bitcoin blocks since 2011 happened the other day. That's what I heard. I mean, that was part of the inconsistencies that were created when they had the little mining issue in China, okay? That the people blew out of proportion. China this, China that. Oh my God. I can't believe some of you who I respect out there in the chat and you ask about China. Like, dudes, we've lived through this so many times. How can you still be scared by anything China FUD? And also, how do you guys continue to worship China when they made some announcement about that they might like Bitcoin or digital currency the other day, one of their lying leaders, and everyone's like, oh, it's such good news. It's such good. No. They're a bunch of liars in that government, okay? But they don't, who cares what they say? You believe that they really like Bitcoin, or for them personally, sure, of course, they're corrupt, they're stealing, they're buying Bitcoin with their own money. They don't like the yuan. But that they said something positive toward Bitcoin, you think they constantly change their minds. They constantly make up lies. Just ignore it. Ignore. If it's negative or positive from China, just ignore it. Now, the one thing that could change, and God willing it changes one day, if there really is a revolution there and they get rid of their freaking fascist government, if they get rid of their fascist government and they truly have a free market, oh man, that will be great for Bitcoin. That will be awesome for the world in general in terms of productivity. And let us pray that happens one day, that China becomes Taiwan, not Taiwan become China. All right, free Hong Kong, pound that like button. All right, now, and I love my time in Taiwan. Taiwan is great. That is the way the mainland should be, just like that, with true freedom, or the freedom to that level, not the fascistic reign of that's currently going on in China. But just remember, it's all a bunch of lies coming out of there. So stop worrying about if they say something good, if they say something, because everyone's like, oh, they said, oh, they're going to be using Bitcoin soon or something. I don't even know what the darn rumor was anymore. So quickly, Wyoming, Caitlin Long tweeted this out, and it's official. Wyoming will recognize DAOs as a new type of LLC effective July 1st. Thank you, legislators and Governor Gordon, for building on Wyoming's history of inventing the LLC, which all other states followed roughly a decade later. We're doing it again. Okay, she is really making that state crypto-friendly. It's the least population of all the states in the United States. It's a beautiful state. And Caitlin, it's a picture of her with the governor. The freaking guy. By the way, the governor of Wyoming has less than 8,000 followers on Twitter. Pound that like button. It's a different world over there. They don't care about as much as social media. The politicians, good for them. But I give her credit. I mean, she's made her way to the top of the ladder there. She's posing with pictures with the freaking governor of Wyoming. She has complete sway over their cryptocurrency policy, and I've got faith in her that it is good. That we've got 50 different experiments in the United States. And it is the most crypto-friendly, Bitcoin-friendly, whatever you want to say, state. And if everything went to heck one day, we could all flee there if necessary. But don't worry, we've got some states that really have put their foot down against current events. In terms of Florida, especially, is just the greatest state in the United States right now. Despite what Wyoming is doing, Florida is the greatest. Not in terms of cryptocurrency, but in terms of freedom. It really is just quite impressive. Anyway, so but let's not put anyone on pedestals. Now let's for all you people saying DeSantis 2024. Well, I want to say this. I mean, obviously DeSantis wouldn't be proposing what Joe Biden is now. Okay, what Joe Biden is with this freaking disgusting capital gains thing that Joe Biden is. It's a rumor, so we'll see. All right. Keep on asking those questions, dudes. And keep buying Bitcoin, someone said. Of course. You always want to have more Bitcoin than you did at the beginning of the month. And you can earn it, too. You can earn it. And now, we talked about Caitlin Long. We talked about tomorrow's This Week in Bitcoin. Again, 4 p.m. tomorrow, East Coast time. Alistair Milne says, unpopular opinion. Dogecoin pump and dump is likely to be used to justify restrictions on retail investors, preventing access to many preventing access to many for crypto assets. Yeah, I do think when the Dogecoin pump and dump ends, and there'll be all these people calling for regulation, all these sociopathic leaders saying, "Oh, look, all these people got ripped off on Robinhood by Dogecoin because it was a pump and dump. We need to restrict retail investors." Yeah, so watch out for that line. Dude, personal responsibility is the new counterculture. That we don't. Yes, Dogecoin is a pump and dump, but we don't need restrictions once it dumps to save all the people. You guys that are pumping and dumping it right now, you should know better. You should really know better. If you lose $1 million on Dogecoin, it's your darn fault. All right, you don't need the government to come bail you out or save you in the future. Use your freaking brains, okay? And just personal responsibility is the new counterculture. So we talked about Ethereum and something else I want to say about Ethereum. And there are a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space or in the Bitcoin space that want to slap the government in the face. Okay, that separate government and money, which is great. I don't think government should have any say over money. Okay, and the United States government right now is not forcing us to use the dollar. The United States is allowing competing money right now. It is. We're allowed to own Bitcoin. We're allowed to buy things with Bitcoin. We are allowed, and that we even need their permission is a complete freaking joke. But it is what it is. But Uniswap, which is built on Ethereum, is a complete slap in the face of all the government try to regulate exchanges. Okay, think about what Uniswap is and how. So for all the people who are really against the government in the Bitcoin world. I mean, you got to say on the Ethereum side, they built something over there that really just puts the middle finger up at the governments who are trying to regulate exchanges. Just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, market dominance below, and so Bitcoin's market dominance is below 50%. It went below. Oh my lord, it's below 50%. Oh my lord, scare, dudes. Again, we've been through this before. June 18th of 2017. June 18th of 2017, Bitcoin dominance was 37%, and Ethereum dominance was 31%. Okay, and that's again June 18th, 2017 is around where we are in the cycle right now, here on April 22nd of 2021. It's very is Bitcoin dominance down at 37% today? No, it's 49%. So we've been through this before. We've been initiated in this before. And I want to say another thing. Christmas Eve of 2017, when Bitcoin was very close to its old all-time high, okay? When things were going really great for Bitcoin, Christmas Eve of 2017, Bitcoin dominance was 43%. So for all you doomers who think that Bitcoin dominance going below 50% means bad things for Bitcoin, it doesn't. It doesn't at all. It's a random measurement. It was at 43% in December of 2017 when it was getting all-time highs, okay? And we're higher than that now. All right, so and Ethereum is at it's close to 5% of a Bitcoin right now. It's just that's the way it is. It's not a shock to my system. To some people's it is. Now, diversification for the sake of diversification is very easy during bull markets, okay? So that's part of what you see that's going on now with the Bitcoin dominance dropping. I mean, everything's going up, so why not buy everything? Diversification for the sake of diversification, that's not me, all right? And I rage against that. But so many people, they think they have to buy something else just for the sake of buying something else. What was this? I have something written. Okay. Now, I'm not going to talk about that. We talked about blips on the radar. Okay. If a person treats Coinbase as a bank, okay, then what coin are they more likely to want to hold at the bank? This is a thought experiment here. They want to gain interest. If they're used to a bank account that brings them interest, what are they going to want to hold? And here's an article right here. Coinbase now offers Ethereum 2.0 staking rewards. All right, dudes. So, and that's their personal business. There are people, they're going to be like, well, why do I want to hold Bitcoin in my Coinbase bank? I'm going to hold Ethereum. That gives me more Ethereum. And that in their world, that makes sense. Now, in my world, it makes no sense to have your freaking Bitcoin or your Ethereum at Coinbase. But there are many, 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 many people who are in this space that just treat Coinbase as a bank. So if you think of it as a bank, if you don't care about controlling your private key whatsoever, then you're down that road. You can get interest on one of the two, Bitcoin or Ethereum. So what are you going to own? So is that going to help? Is that going to lower Ethereum's price? No. It's going to bring up the Ethereum. That's why it's so easy for me to say it's going to be 6% of a Bitcoin. And again, Ethereum 2.0 hasn't even started yet. Now, assuming it all gets pulled off, and I'm pretty sure it will get pulled off. So this guy named Ryan Berkmans said he wrote a report, a 4-page report that's very easy to understand. I linked to it below. The report previously titled "The Investment Case for Ethereum." Ethereum is a high-level look at Ethereum as a store of value with $10 billion per year in net income while being environmentally friendly. So he throws in the environmentally friendly jab. Get used to that. In the report, our forecast for Ethereum's net income in 2022 is $19.8 billion, all of which occurs to Ethereum holders. Our discounted cash flow valuation linked in the report, conservatives suggest a value per Ethereum of $16,770. Now, and it's ethereumcashflow.com. Now, do I believe that Ethereum is going to be worth $16,770? Actually, if Bitcoin is worth $200,000, then yeah, it will be. But this is it's for investors, companies, treasuries, and others using Bitcoin as a store of value. He is speaking he's not getting into technical mumbo jumbo about, he's not getting into Uniswap stuff. He's not getting into all the technical stuff that Ethereum can do. He's just laying out the pure money. And I give the guy credit. He wants rich people, rich entities to throw their money into Ethereum. And that hasn't, we've got guys like Michael Saylor that are using Bitcoin as their treasury reserve asset. We don't have anyone that's doing it with Ethereum. And this report is reaching out to those people. They are competing, and that's their business. That's their business. But he says, and he in the report, the purpose of this memo is not to denounce Bitcoin. Bitcoin enjoys a growing institutional spotlight, a compelling narrative as digital gold, and a portfolio allocation as an inflation hedge. However, institutional allocation into the Ethereum ecosystem is currently low. So he's admitting it. This memo will argue that Ethereum and its token ETH can compete with Bitcoin as a store of value asset. Now, I don't think it is a store of value asset and should be a part of a diversified crypto portfolio. Again, I don't believe in a diversified crypto portfolio. Further, Ethereum has imminent catalysts in 2021 that could cause ETH to reprice significantly higher. I agree with that last part there, okay? So there you go. Bitcoin people are welcome to write easy to understand reports like this one that reach out to purely finance people that speak a finance language. There are many people in the Bitcoin space and in the entire cryptocurrency space that vilify financiers, that vilify marketers and traditional business people. It's all about the tech. It's all about the Lightning Network. It's all about the Taproot. No, everything is welcome in this space. Technical, marketing, finance. So when you can grasp that and you can accept that, you can create a narrative that's going to help pump the price of your Ethereum or your Bitcoin or whatever. Okay? When you're not like against certain segments of the crypto population in terms of what their background is, if it be finance, marketing, tech, etc. Okay. So we did talk about China's central bank calls Bitcoin an investment alternative. All right. So that's what everybody was spazzing out about, that some bureaucrat, some lying, cheating bureaucrat in China called Bitcoin an investment alternative. Do you really need a Chinese a bureaucrat to tell you that? I mean, I've known Bitcoin's been an investment alternative since freaking 2013 when I bought my first 2 Bitcoin in November that year. Pound that like button. Never sell a Bitcoin. All right, now, okay, so we have with China FUD. What's this? And I'm going to link to a thread that, and I didn't do it yet. It's by what's this guy's name? Here's the best explanation of what the mining incident in China really meant. Okay, and it's it's not some insane reaction to all the China news. It's very level-headed. I will link to it below. When I'm done this, it will be just like, I will call it China Calm, okay, for you that want to read something that actually makes sense about China. And yeah, Andy Hoffman was also talking about the $1 trillion market cap, and just reminding everyone that it's very difficult to bring Bitcoin below that $1 trillion market cap. It's been broken now, so he's worried. I'm not worried at all. But I mean, again, we was like, it's just a blip on the radar today. Now, I think, can everyone tell, like, that when I get messages now from that, this has happened to me for years and years and years now, and it's just very tiresome at this point. Like, I get people with worried messages, like, why is Bitcoin dropping? Oh, it's different this time. It's terrible. It's the end of the world. Ethereum's going to take over. This one's going to take over. Why are people so stupid buying Dogecoin? Like, it doesn't faze me at all. Like, I go about my life. I go about running. I go about just like, I don't want to hear about all this FUD. Like, it's such noise. It's just like, it doesn't entertain me. It's a complete waste. And I've heard it 1,000 times now. Like, I've been through this cycle before. I've been through this part of the cycle before. And I don't understand why people just don't grasp it. Why people, there's just a certain mentality certain people have. They want things to go wrong. They just are waiting for everything to go wrong. And that's not the way to live, dudes. That's not the way to live. Like, I admire people that say it's different this time when they're talking about something that has been negative in the past and they want it and they think it's going to be positive now. But for the people who have seen something that was, it appeared negative and then it wasn't negative because Bitcoin always returns to its all-time high, and now the same thing's happening and now they're getting negative again. I mean, you're just negative. I'm a positive dude. I don't want to be around this. I don't want to be around these negative vibes. So I know some of you have legit worries and everything like that. I mean, go back to my archives or something. What can am I your psychiatrist here? I mean, are we going to sit down on the couch? If you're going to complain to me, people, about the FUD and that you've fallen for the latest FUD that's just repeat FUD from 4 years ago, if you want my time, you're going to have to pay me for that, dude. You got to pay me a lot to talk about that nonsense with you, okay? But maybe some of you want that. You enjoy my voice? I mean, or you enjoy my sexy facial features? I don't know what you enjoy, what you want out of me when it comes to this FUD, which is clearly FUD that we've lived through 1,000 different times already. And it's like, and you can't grasp the concept that week after week after week after week, there's another negative blip on the radar that everybody forgets. All right? Just like in November when people were saying that I forgot what Brian Armstrong even said about the government and the price of Bitcoin went down. I don't even remember what it was there, but people say, oh, it's the end of the world. And it's just a blip of the radar that we can't even remember now. And this is what it's all about. People blow everything out of proportion on a day-to-day basis. Take a few steps back, look at the bigger picture. And we've seen it before. The bigger picture always prevails. 2024 halving. If you can't take the Ethereum FUD, the coin market cap FUD, the China FUD, the Joe Biden FUD, if you can't, just don't get on the internet anymore then. I don't know what to say. Or like lock up your Trezor to make sure you cannot gain access to it so that you won't do anything foolish. All right, so there's my little rant on that. And here's a reminder from Nick Carter. ETF chatter becoming deafening. All right, so everyone's fixated on the negative stuff. China, this, that, and the other. When we know that eventually there is going to be a Bitcoin ETF. And what is that going to do? That is going to take the Bitcoin price to a whole new level. We know this is going to happen one day in the United States. Yet we still have people worrying about the day-to-day FUD that we've heard 1,000 times before. But so I'm just reminding you, Nick Carter, a real smart guy, is reminding us that the ETF chatter is becoming deafening. We are one day closer to having a Bitcoin ETF in the United States, and that is a good thing for the price of Bitcoin. Pound that like button. Jeff Dorman says, today's digital asset market recap. Robinhood trader wakes up, sees Doge up 160%, immediately snap buys the only other tokens available on the app, Ethereum Classic, Bcash, BSV, and Litecoin. So this is from last week, actually, but there were a lot of people that were wondering, oh my God, why is Bcash doing so well again? Oh, it's the end of the world. I can't accept a world where Bcash and Bitcoin can both do well. They both can do well. But why did Bcash and Ethereum Classic and Litecoin and BSV, why that trash BSV? Why did they all do well? Well, he just gave a great reason. The Robinhood impulsive people saw Doge doing well, and they decided, well, what else can I buy on this that isn't Bitcoin? Because of their unit bias nonsense, they bought the other stuff. That's why a pump. There's no real good reason. That's not a fundamental reason, but it's this is why I read different type of people on Twitter. Jeff Dorman is not a Bitcoin firster at all, okay? I mean, he is into all sorts of different things, but he's a smart guy. I can tell I disagree with him on some political stuff too, but I don't run away from the dude. You can gain insight and understand what's going on in the larger space. And when you understand what's going on in the larger space, you have a stronger Bitcoin hand because you're not worried like, oh my Lord, Bcash is doing well again. We're living through 2017 again. No, we're not. Bcash is a joke. Bcash is nothing to worry about. It pumped because of some Dogecoin freak 19-year-olds on Robinhood. All right. Now, let's see if we have any questions here. We don't have any super chat ones. No, do some super chat, dudes. We got, we don't have anyone doing it properly. We just have a bunch of people talking back and forth, and no one's even typing in BitcoinMeister. But people are having fun, so hey, that's good. Now, let's. We got crypto groupies in the house there. Oh, all sorts. Now, what do we have? Oh, here. And for all and to show you who's buying Dogecoin, Vinny Lingham, who some people just love to hate him. But again, I follow him on Twitter. You can gain a lot of knowledge from him. He says, I'm going to perform an experiment. How many of you actually control the private keys to your Dogecoin? Please send me only $1 in Dogecoin to this address. I'll donate it all to the local dog shelter. All right, this is a few days ago. 4 people sent him Dogecoin. He's got a lot of followers. Now, I mean, the point he was making is that most people who own Dogecoin, they own it through Robinhood, they own it through whatever. They don't control their own private key. They have no access to their Dogecoin at all. They think. I mean, that's what's pumping it up. It's a Robinhood pump. But hey, people don't get it. They think they really own their cryptocurrency when they don't own their cryptocurrency at all. Learn about controlling your private key. But it is funny, and Dogecoin is simple to send. It's as easy to send and hold as Bitcoin. But most of the people that are in this Dogecoin game right now, they don't know. They don't hold it. They don't hold it properly. They don't hold it. Now, Bolt out of Canada just sent $5 in Canadian dollars. BitcoinMeister's approach is the only way to guarantee to make money. Think long term. Pound that like button, brother. Thank you for the $5 Canadian. And again, I have ripped on the Canadian loonie as much as anyone out there. Do not value your wealth in loonies. Value it in Bitcoin. Canada is a second-rate currency, which is better than most currencies out there, of course. Most fiat currencies are much worse than the Canadian one. But dudes, if I've been speaking to Canadians for quite some time. I enjoyed my time in speaking in Alberta back in 2018. I hope that all those people I spoke to back in Alberta, I don't see how any of them can have significant bank accounts, significant amounts of loonies in their bank accounts. I hope not. At the very least, they should have some dollar delineated ones, United States dollars. But obviously, Bitcoin is where they should have put everything, as much as humanly possible. Because I know you got to pay some bills and taxes in your local currency. All right. Now, and what's going on in Ontario right now is ridiculous. I'm going to ask Mauricio about Ontario tomorrow because Mauricio is a guy originally from Venezuela, but he lives in Toronto. He works for Ledin. He'll be on tomorrow's show. I'll be sure to ask him about the situation in Ontario. So this UFO Today guy says Bitcoin is crashing. Any comments? You know, this entire show has been a comment about the Bitcoin price going down. When I was talking about Biden and I was talking about the capital gains tax proposal, I explained it all. Those are my thoughts. Have you been paying attention to a word I said? Those are my comments. I comment. What else do you want me to say? The whole show is. Are you paying attention? Do you have listening comprehension at all? Seriously. All right. And Kim DeVos says, thanks for your years of info and streams. Well, you're welcome. And everyone, check out disruptmeister.com. You can watch all the old shows. You can watch all the old shows there. There's like almost 2,000 shows I've been involved in during my long and storied career in the YouTube Bitcoin world, whatever this is. All right. Now, let's see. What else do we have here? Okay, so we talked about the line in the sand that was the $1 trillion market. Yeah, The exception proves the rule, right? That's what I learned in biology class in 10th grade, in Mr. Wright's biology class. The exception proves the rule. It'll rebound above a trillion. I mean, again, long-term thinking, people. It's a day-to-day turbulence. If you get obsessed with it, you're going to have fun staying poor, okay? All right, now, when we talk about the 50% FUD and what is this, $250,000? Oh, Marco down in Miami watched yesterday's show, by the way, guys. It was a explainer show that talked about how you can figure out the exact block number that happened 200,000 blocks ago, because we all know about the 210,000 block theory, about how you can take any point in time, subtract 210,000 blocks from it, and Bitcoin is worth more in dollars than it was 210,000 blocks ago. And that is the rule. And it continues. So with 210,000 blocks from now, if you're watching this, if the rule stands, as it has never been broken as of today, Bitcoin will be worth more in terms of fiat. I'm pretty confident in that. But so that was what yesterday's show was about. But the great Marco told me, he said, tragic story. A friend sold 5 Bitcoin last week and put it all in Doge, hoping to time the market. I told him his Bitcoin card is revoked. I'm super triggered. Now, basically what that person did was take over $250,000 worth of Bitcoin and gambling it on Dogecoin at the top, and he lost. I mean, it's insane. It's insane what people are willing to do. And the guy has less than a Bitcoin left now. Not in terms of the Dogecoin is valued. I don't know what it's valued at now. What, 4 Bitcoin instead of 5 Bitcoin? I don't know how much it's dropped. But he took that large percentage of his Bitcoin stash and threw it into Dogecoin, like 80% of it, 90% of it. I mean, that's ridiculously impulsive. Diversification for the sake of diversification. Have fun staying poor. But that's a real story, and you better believe that there are plenty of people who did stuff like that, who are just like, oh, it's the flavor of the month, without understanding what the flavor of the month means. That they come and go. Oh, I'm going to turn my whole Bitcoin stash into this flavor of the month. It's a bad idea. You're going against your game plan. You stick with the game plan. Strong hand 2024. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to convert 90% of it into Dogecoin and then go back into Bitcoin. No. That's what happened to that guy is what happens to you. Sad. And what else do we have? We talked about, speaking about how crazy Dogecoin got, though, Dogecoin retreats after topping Ford and Kraft in market value. That's, and I didn't know, some of, that's insane. Some of that money that left Dogecoin did run back into Bitcoin too, of course. I mean, it only makes sense. Now, something I mentioned on the show before is that during the Great Depression, we've always heard about how 25% of the people got rich. Well, at least, or did well. At least if you're smart and you just don't, if you do your own research and you go beyond the doom and gloom of the Dust Bowl and all that stuff, you realize that there were some people that did quite well, 25%. And I always kept that in mind. Whenever I learned that, I'm so proud that during what people tried to turn into our own Great Depression, because all these neurotic, depressive people out there, they want to have their own disaster, and they wanted the virus to be the Great Depression, to be 9/11, to be everything depressing. And I'm so proud that during our quote unquote Great Depression of the last year, that I have done incredibly well. That Bitcoin, that is I have more wealth than I've ever had in my entire life. And there's so many Bitcoin holders that share that with me, that they are part of the quote unquote 25% who did well during all this. And I'm sure it's probably much larger than 25% now, but there are plenty of people that just locked themselves up and did horrible. But yeah, I can see how now during the real Great Depression, of course there were opportunities. I mean, but most people become frozen. They're not in motion. They see something that's scary and they freeze. These are the times. I mean, if the last year has taught you anything, it has been quite a time to be in motion. I have traveled all around the United States, and again, I've become, wealthier than I have ever was previously. And many of you share that second part. Not as many of you have traveled all around like I have, but you've been in motion mentally and financially. So good for you. And just a little flashback. And okay, we'll link to the Vinny thing in a second, and we'll conclude it with 2 beyond Bitcoin things here. All right, but first I'm going to see if there are any questions. So Crypto Native said a video about your life extension goals would be cool. Yeah, I want to live to be 200, and I have that ingrained. And I'm going to going to San Diego for a month. Well, it's only one day. That health nucleus. I'm doing I'm paying for the health nucleus and analysis of my health. But yeah, I should talk about that in a Beyond Bitcoin video in the future. But that's one of the things I'm doing for. I'm taking life extension seriously, very seriously. If I'm spending that money at Health Nucleus or whatever it's called in San Diego. And thank you, Yaron Brook and Peter Diamantes for informing me about that great that great program. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I hope it's a fun time in San Diego in June. I am looking forward to it. Now, all right. So that no other questions. So we'll conclude with some current events here. Or one, the best explainer video when it comes to the virus is by this dude in South Africa, and I forgot his name now, but I'll link to the BitChute video below. You can tell it's a good explainer of the virus when it's on BitChute and not allowed on YouTube, obviously. I think I already linked to it below, but if I didn't, it'll be linked to below. And finally, something I know, I forgot to mention this on a recent show, but I linked to it below. I heard this song, Tighter and Tighter, by the band Alive and Kicking. It's from the 60s? And it's a happy song, and I linked to it below. And it brings back memories of being in my father's car, because my father always listened to WQSR, the oldie station in Baltimore. And that song was always on. Was not always, was often on. And I just thought of it randomly the other day, and then I searched it out on YouTube, and definitely put a big smile on my face. It's kind of a corny song, but maybe it'll put a big smile on your face too. And I think some people need that positivity, because they just get too entrenched by all this the FUD and the negative stuff that's out there. All right, I'm Adam Meister, and Doug says he's been listening to the old Beach Boys. And again, I can think about WQSR and being in my father's car, and my dad would actually comment about the Beach Boys too. He liked them. He bought one of their albums. I don't think he realized how psychedelic that they were. Brian Wilson. That guy was a very creative dude. My dad liked the catchy tunes of the Beach Boys, but some of his songs were very, very deep. Pet Sounds was really innovative. Brian he's still alive, right? He was a unique beast. He lost it. Brian Wilson was, that's a unique beast right there. All right, everybody, keep on being a unique beast. Pound that like button. I'm Adam Meister, BitcoinMeister, Disrupt Meister. Subscribe to the channel tomorrow, 4 p.m. East Coast time. We will be here with a This Week in Bitcoin. See you later. Play this at 2x. Thanks, everyone.